Oh, you just brought up a big word. We could go down that, but you think socialism works, Mitch? Are you?
No, I'm not a socialist. I'm not a socialist.
Okay.
Although
okay.
I'm probably left of centre politically.
Left of center. Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably, I've got a touch of the libertarian about me as well. But I think, look, oh God, we're getting some stuff here, aren't we? Oh, I think businesses in general need to be regulated more than they have been in the last 20, 30, 40 years. The thing that concerns me most about the part of the world that we live in is the fact that the gap between the highest paid person in a company and the lowest paid is just got so ridiculously wide just in the last 40 years. I think it's gone from, well, I don't know what the stats are, but they're astronomical. It's almost, we're back to medieval times in terms of the difference between the rich and the poorest, the richest and the poorest. That needs to be addressed for me. How, I don't know. I'm not a politician, but so if that makes me a socialist, then so be it. But I think there needs to be more government programs. I think they need to be tougher on companies who aren't paying their tax in the right jurisdictions.
Yeah, we could go down that path for a couple hours. As an entrepreneur that had the balls to try to start a business, I'm right of center thinking, hey, look, I'm the one that took the risk. I'm the one that started the company, right.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like, but there are times. I remember I was in Naples, Florida, and if you're right by the coast in Naples, I mean, the wealth in Naples, Florida is super high. I mean, just there is a lot. There's billionaires everywhere. And I was driving, I can't remember what that main street is in Naples, Florida, but I was driving through town and I thought, wow, there is a lot of wealth here. And literally, like, if you go, I mean, I shit you not, it's probably like 4 miles. And it's just a completely different world. I mean, poverty is very close. And I remember thinking that day, and keep in mind, I'm usually right of center, right? So normally I would be like, hey, it's free. It's, like, I would never think, hey, universal pay and equal pay and stuff. Like, most of the time I wouldn't vote for that. But I remember that day. And then I went into this convenience store and there were a bunch of guys there that were yard workers. They were obviously they were low paid, like cut the grass guys, right?
Yeah.
In the rich neighborhood. And I thought, man, like, this is, I never went that fast from rich to poor within just a few minutes. And that day I thought, man, is this right? This doesn't feel right. Like, I don't feel good about this.
Again, complicated issue, but when it comes to, corporates and the way they get around certain taxation rules, and transfer pricing, which sits at the heart of it, and they siphon off their profits to offshore accounts. They don't have to pay tax.
Yeah.
I mean so all we can do is try and be as active in our distaste for it as possible. So I do that by I buy coffee in businesses that pay their taxes, which means I don't go to Starbucks, for example. Yeah.
Oh, good one.
But I'll contradict myself straight away. I use Amazon, and Amazon don't pay any tax from what I think I last saw in the UK. I mean, it's just nuts. But it's just too damn convenient. So I don't know. I think Amazon needs to be broken up personally.
That's another one. Yeah. That's just got so much power. Like, oh boy. Yeah. These companies, we can't live in a world where we all bow down to Amazon, Facebook, and Google, right? Like, that's pretty scary.
The owner, and our version, our poorer version of him is over here is Richard Branson. I mean, these dudes are buying rockets, for Christ's sake. Seriously. Yeah. How far ahead of the poorest people do you need to go where they're flying into frigging space for fun? Yeah.
That's that is a great point. I mean, all you got to do is go to some really poor neighborhoods where people, they're wondering what they're going to eat next. And yeah, there's a large gap. I don't have the answer. I'm like you, like, I'm not a politician. I don't have the answer. And I find myself, and I think a lot of people find themselves going left to right on their views, because they think this, and then they see something that hits them emotionally, and then they're like, oh, now I'm over here, and then they end up in the middle, probably kind of like us.
Yeah. Yeah, most people are somewhere in the middle, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I just think I'd like to see capitalism infused with a little bit of socialism. That's all I kind of would like to see.
If I agree with that, my far right friends here in Johnstown, Colorado, are going to take me out to the country and beat me up. They're going to see me down at the tavern. They're going to be like, "What the hell did you say?"